We're back. My first guest tonight has won nearly every acting award there is, including the Academy Award, the Emmy, and the Golden Globe. She can now be seen in the new movie Levity. Please welcome Holly Hunter. I was practically embarrassing you backstage because I mentioned in the monologue that you've done so many movies that I absolutely love. Raising Arizona, Broadcast News, just to name a few. And I'm curious, you've been so careful about choosing your roles. You seem like someone you're very careful about to choose things where you can do, good work. Are you ever tempted by those crazy movies where they pay all the actors $50 million because there's a meteor headed to Earth? You like Armageddon 5 or something, like a movie that maybe you wouldn't necessarily be super proud of, but they're going to back up the truck and throw the cash at you?
I guess I feel like Morgan Freeman says never do anything that you're going to be embarrassed about later. And
I would not have a show if I listened to Morgan Freeman. I've got a vomiting Kermit out here. That would cut me off in my tracks if I took that tack.
It was quite a warm-up for me.
Yeah, it was good. It's a nice way to come out. But he said that's actually, it's probably hard advice to take with some of the scripts that you get.
Well, when it comes down to it, it's a little bit easy for me.
Right.
When I read something, unless it kind of strikes me personally, it's very hard to think about spending 10 weeks or 12 weeks doing it. 10 weeks is actually a lifetime.
Right.
If you're not having fun.
Right. Whatever you're doing seems to be working. I mentioned you have an Oscar. What I didn't know until today was that there was something wrong with your Oscar and you sent it back. Is that right?
Yeah, well, actually, my Oscar, after I'd had it for about 6 months, it started peeling.
This is shattering everyone's illusion because everybody thinks the Oscar, oh my God, it's the Oscar. Peeling? What is it? Is it paint? Is it spray paint?
It was almost like it had been handled too much, but that's not true because nobody had basically touched it.
Right.
I mean, I was kind of leaving it alone.
Right. That's good that you didn't have it like out at when you went out to get chili at the bar. You didn't hand it around to everybody. Wipe your hands on this.
But hey, some people do travel with their Oscars.
Some people carry them around?
Yeah, but people travel with them.
I've always said if I had an Oscar, I would have it mounted on the hood of my car. Instead of an ornament, but then I would act as though like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. That's just my Oscar.
Well, I wish you would get one.
Well, I have a Ford Taurus. It wouldn't look so cool.
I think that would be perfect, actually.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I'll do that. If and when I get that sweet Oscar. So what happens? That starts to peel, and what did you do? You...
Well, it was like it looked almost like it had a lacquer on it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't want to, degrade the Oscar. It's a beautiful thing.
But it started peeling shortly after you got it. Right,
so I took it to, I sent it to the Oscar hospital. I mean,
there's an Oscar hospital?
They sent, like, this beautiful, rich, royal blue velvet case.
Right.
And I put it in the case, and somebody picked it up. And then,
somebody?
Yeah.
I hope you've had the right person picking it up. You want to take that? I'll take that, yeah.
Sure. I didn't even question that, but of course...
It's so funny, because you're describing it like it's Meineke, and, this isn't working, and it's still under warranty. I can send this Oscar back. Now, one thing I didn't know till today also is that you live in New York City.
I do. And, I lived in L.A. for 10 years, and it was interesting because I never kept my Oscar up high because of earthquakes. And it's kind of nice. No, my Oscar's very high now.
Right. Now you can keep it way up there.
Yeah,
because that would be an embarrassing way to die if there was an earthquake and the Oscar hit you on the head.
I mean, it could always go back to the hospital.
Right.
But...
There are some awards are much more dangerous. The Emmy has sharp...
Oh, my God.
The Emmy is like a death tool. The Emmy has sharp wings that come out, and it's top-heavy, and it's like something that, people would set as a trap, the Emmy. Whereas I think the Oscar's been made child-safe, at least.
You could probably do a documentary on people who have been injured backstage with the, the Emmys.
Well, that would not be a good use of my time, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, you're saying that might be a good use of my time, based on how, yeah. You're probably right. You live here in New York. Do people bother you? Can you walk around the city?
Totally.
Why?
Completely. I mean,
You've been in so many great movies, you know, people don't stop you and recognize you?
I think, you know, I think it's, I'm small. Quiet.
So you're just going around the city like this, pretty much. You're describing yourself like a mischievous leprechaun who...
Yes.
Really? That's how it is?
That is how it is for me.
Do you think height has a lot to do with it, with people getting...
Don't you agree?
I don't know. I have to say, I mean, I'm on at 12:30 at night, but I can't... When I go outside, even if I have a hat and glasses, I think it's like Big Bird putting on a hat and glasses. Because I'm wearing like a hat and glasses and trying to be cool, but then I'm galumphing down the street and I have a giant pompadour and people are like, that's that ass, yeah. That's what I get. Don't laugh at that. I don't like you laughing at that. Now, I'm transitioning into this movie now, Levity, which I watched last night. I'm just saying, because Levity sounds like, oh, this is going to be a fun movie. I really like this movie, but the title is almost ironic, or is ironic.
Well, I think it is, yeah. Levity was written and directed by Ed Solomon, who also wrote Bill and Ted's excellent adventure movies.
Right, right. A very funny guy, Ed Solomon. Yeah.
And he wrote the first Men in Black. I mean, he's, you know, naturally extremely funny.
And this movie is quite different.
I mean, I think that you guys did some writing. I think...
I know Ed Sullivan. I actually didn't really write with Ed Sullivan, but I know
But you guys have done some of the same gigs.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the same time.
Right, right.
But
we were both nightclub singers together in the early 80s, but I don't want to talk about that. And neither does Ed, I don't think. So but this movie, first of all, it's an amazing cast. It's you, it's Billy Bob Thornton, Kirsten Dunst, and
Morgan
Freeman. And it really is a movie about Billy Bob Thornton trying to get redemption in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's about, you know, this guy's, he's completely alienated from the world. And one of the ways that Ed kind of used how funny I think he truly is Billy Bob Thornton's character is surrounded by people who have incredible senses of humor, and he doesn't.
Right. And they're always calling him on it a little bit.
So he literally doesn't get the joke.
Right.
And that was one way that Ed kind of architected it so that he would be an outsider, you know, in every way.
Right.
But it's a movie about forgiveness. I think that it's very thoughtful.
Yeah, it's a powerful film. We have a clip here from it. What do people need to know to appreciate the clip?
Well, my son has been shot, and he is in the hospital, and I don't know Billy Bob Thornton's character well. I don't even know his name at this point in the movie, but we have kind of an intimate conversation.
Let's take a look at this clip from Levity. Levity is now playing in select cities. It's a real pleasure for me to get to meet you and have you on the show. Yeah, this is very cool for all of us here at Late Night. Holly Hunter, everyone. We'll take a break. Eugene Levy coming up. We'll be right back. Yeah, you can laugh at me. You're like, well, I'm going to watch this bozo work for a while. We're back. Fine show tonight. Fine show coming up tomorrow night. Dennis Miller, very funny man, is going to be on the show. From the new FX series, yes, Lucky John Corbett will be here. And you might know him as Seymour Butts. Adult film director Adam Glazer is going to be here. So, Seymour Butts. Always a classy show here. All right, tomorrow, Seymour Butts. There's a 5-year-old watching right now. He said butts.